Good morning, everyone, dear speakers and webinar participants. Real pleasure for me today to welcome you all to the latest webinar hosted by the Enterprise Europe Network. My name is Natalia Martinez Paramo. As Thomas and Elfriede has already introduced me, I'm head of unit of the Single Market Program SME Pillar at the European Innovation Council and SME Executive Agency of the European Commission, known as AISMEA, and my unit oversees the operations of the entire Enterprise Europe network. Our Embracing Global Markets webinar series provides crucial market intelligence and information on regulatory requirements, helping European businesses and innovators to expand beyond. Okay? There was background noise. So, well, I'm saying that our Embracing Global Markets webinar series provides crucial market intelligence and information on regulatory requirements, helping European businesses and innovators to expand beyond the EU single market. To whom this webinar is addressed? So our webinar addresses to small and medium-sized enterprises, to startups ready to scale internationally, and of course, the business advisor of you, Enterprise Europe Network. As usual, we will stream the webinar live into the most widely and social media platforms such as YouTube, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. This allows everyone to join us. For the few webinar participants who have not yet heard about us, the Enterprise Europe Network is one of the world's largest service providers for businesses with international ambition. With a collective expertise of more than 3,000 business advisors based in over 50 countries, the Enterprise Europe Network established a vast global commercial marketplace for trade and research and development cooperation, comprising the EU single market, as you know, with around 405 million consumers. So in a nutshell, the Enterprise Europe Network provides premium international business and technology partnership services, as well as in-depth advisory services, helping companies to innovate, helping companies to expand in a new market and adopt, of course, more sustainable business models. The Enterprise Europe Network is one of the European Commission's main policy instruments for facilitating international market access for companies in the EU and other participating countries. And we take great pride in Ukraine being part of our global network. And I would like to highlight that under the umbrella of the Enterprise Europe Network, every single day, our Ukrainian partners actively support local businesses in trading with the EU single market. But let's focus on today's webinar. Today, we will focus on the conditions for investing and doing business in Ukraine. We are, of course, fully aware of the challenging market environment, so this we are not forgetting. However, our aim is not only to address these challenges, but also to explore the potential opportunities, which are a lot, for European companies engaging with Ukrainian business partners. So our distinguished speaker will highlight the latest economic trends and the commercial opportunities and financial incentive for international investors. Importantly, the webinar will also provide an overview of regulatory requirements and Ukraine's national taxation system. And at the end of the session, we'll hear a testimonial from an entrepreneur who is successfully running a business in Ukraine. The first-hand account will offer valuable insight into the current local market conditions. So I'm going to conclude here because we are not here to listen to me, but to our speaker. But being mindful of today's packed agenda, I going to finish, as I say, my welcome remarks. But before doing so, I would like to sincerely thank our speakers and the Ukrainian Enterprise Europe Network partners, in particular to you, Olga, who you will be moderating today's webinar. And the webinar will not have been possible without your dedication. That we are sure. So we deeply appreciate your efforts and the opportunity to learn more about doing business with you in Ukraine. So I strongly encourage all webinar participants to engage with your expert, with our expert. Feel free to raise your hands. Don't be shy. Post question via the WebEx chat. Please do it, or use the YouTube comment section. This will help us and you will be replying. So, and importantly, if you need further support in entering the Ukrainian market, please do not hesitate to reach out to our local Enterprise Europe Network contact points. We are here to support you exciting growth journey. So thank you very much. Welcome once again. And now, Olga, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Natalia. Thank you a lot to all the EN team that support us in such difficult time for us, for Ukraine. But anyway, it's the time for a big perspective for us. We are joined today by expert speakers who will share valuable insights on key topics, including Ukrainian tax system, investment opportunities, and real-life business experience. I want once again to thank European Commission, ESMEA, the Enterprise Europe Network team, and all our partners who made these events possible. We want to share our experience, we want to share information regarding Ukrainian market, and we want to share our investment opportunities. Throughout the webinar, we invite you to submit your questions via the chat function on WebEx through the YouTube page. Our speakers will address them during the interactive Q&A session at the end of the event. If you require any additional support or have follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to reach out me directly by email that I will send in the chat box. All our consortium partners are also available and ready to assist you. Please use our contacts from the network area. And I think that we can start our webinar. Now we move to our first K-Tone presentation. I'm pleased to invite Mr. Dmitry Mikhailenko, Managing Partner at Kroon. Dmitry, also Chair of the Entrepreneurs Committee on Taxation at the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He will guide us through the current tax system and regulation for doing business in Ukraine. Dmitry?
Yeah, hi, sorry,
Please
colleagues.
take your
Yeah,
floor.
I'm representative for Dmitry, so he's in the waiting room. Could you please let him to come to our meeting?
Just a few minutes, Dmitry will connect us.
Okay. Otherwise, maybe we swap to the second speaker. Then in the meantime, our first speaker can try to connect. Olga,
Yes, sure.
fine to...
Yeah, it's possible because our next speaker also have already connected with us. So we will move to Andriy Zablowski, former head of Secretariat of Entrepreneurs Council under the Cabinet of Minister of Ukraine. Andriy, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me and see well?
Yes, everything good. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for connecting.
Thank you.
Yeah, here is your presentation.
Super, perfect. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Can I start?
Yes, you can start, please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today as a speaker for such vital and sensitive theme as investment and business opportunities and how to do business in Ukraine during the wartime and etc. Also, I'll very appreciate it to express my thanks to all organizers of this meeting because there is, as I mentioned before, it's very important topic to discuss today, and I'll be happy to share my views, my expertise, and valuable insights, and expressing my ideas how to do the best in terms of investment and business opportunities in Ukraine. So let's start with the first very important question: why invest in Ukraine nowadays? Investing in Ukraine is crucial for supporting the recovery and rebuilding efforts, which in turn contributes to global stability and prosperity. We have some economic rationales and reasons why invest in doing business in Ukraine right now, not waiting for the post-war period and starting this and using this opportunity right now. The first one is a strong international financial aid, as you know, because nowadays Ukraine have a possibility to mobilize support from private investments, including co-financing mechanisms with international financial institutions, as well as development financing institutions, war insurance mechanisms and solutions, the Ukraine Facility Platform is well known, and the Ukraine Development Fund. The second one, the strong government support in terms of business, doing business in Ukraine and supporting all foreign investment opportunities. I do hope that the other keynote speaker from investment to Ukraine will more elucidate this topic and talk more about this opportunity, the mechanism of such investment support instruments. The third one, the extensive reconstruction scope. As you know, war, it was very Ukrainian state. Nowadays, the war has created substantial reconstruction needs across various sectors, including infrastructure, housing, energy and agriculture. By investing now, investors can participate in the early rebuilding efforts, gaining long-term returns and of course results. The first reason of its high growth potential, not in terms of post-war period, but during the war, yes, you know, as you see, Ukraine, it demonstrates its strong macro financial, macroeconomic background and stability, as well as currency market stability as well. Okay. One of the key points is a prime entry opportunity for investors who will be the first who invest in Ukraine before the war and position investment as early movers, allowing them to capitalize on opportunities and establish a good background, strong background in the market ahead of competition. Early entrants can secure prime projects in partnership with supporting financing from Ukraine and other international financial institutions. The last one, but not least, EU accession prospects, as Ukraine demonstrates strong EU ambition and will be in the nearest future as a part of European Union. It's a big opportunity for EU companies and entrepreneurs to enter Ukrainian market and be one of the first key investors in these opportunities. Please, the second slide, please. The second slide, please. Can you?
Yes, sorry, it's a technical issue.
Okay, never mind. I'll proceed with my own presentation on the screen. Okay. It was very interesting, the latest study that titled Ukraine at War, Business Environment Transformation and Investment Prospects. More than 30% of companies are ready to invest in Ukraine despite the war and related war risk, according to the mentioned study. Moreover, over the city of foreign investors plan to invest up to $5 billion in Ukraine. More than 30% of companies are ready to invest significantly larger amounts, up to $100 and more million dollars. As emphasized Business Ombudsman Roman Vashuk presenting this opportunity and this report, the resilience of Ukrainian business is a clear signal to investors. This is a place was being in and investing in. But for business to invest and grow, projects or financial instruments alone are not enough. Stability, legal protection, and clear rules of the game are essential. According to this report and study, at the same time, entrepreneurs know that the key factor in making investment decision is war-related risks. Additionally, about 30% of point to economic uncertainty, currency fluctuation, and inflation as negative influences. The biggest legal and regulatory barriers deterring investors include permit procedures, limited access to justice, lack of effective political risk assurance, corruption, and military risk. Yeah, we know about this risk and obstacles, but nowadays we moving forward to build more comfortable and resilient ecosystem for investment, for foreign investment and internal investors. One of the interest investment project doing and presented by the European Business Association and with other stakeholders and partners, Ukrainian partners, is so-called Investment Bank of Ukraine. This is an interactive platform showcases a wide range of investment-ready projects across various sectors of Ukraine in different regions, thereby facilitated investment in Ukraine. This tool helps potential investors learn about available investment opportunities in different regions of Ukraine, get details on their characteristics, and apply if interested. The description of each project contains information about its initiator status, location, investment opportunity, the amount of necessary funding, goals, and timelines. Additionally, it offers details about the every Ukrainian region, including size, location, population, local taxes, educational establishments, available resources, and developed sectors. It's kind of investment passport of the regions with all possible projects from private companies and stakeholders, sorry. When we're talking about doing business investment opportunities, we should note about Ukraine as a technical hub, technical leader, as a very developed ecosystem with many talented and creative people. As I now served as man who leading the project with implementing AI projects in public services and administrations within so-called advisory committee on the development of artificial intelligence under the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. I should mention a few words about Ukraine as an emerging as AI hub in Europe. It's not my position, but the position of experts outside of Ukraine, also from many European keynote speakers and experts. Some figures why is Ukraine is emerging nowadays as an AI hub in Europe. Ukraine ranks second in the number of AI companies among CE countries as of 2 years ago. But is increased talent pool, more than 200 companies, number of AI ML specialists increased to more than 5,000 people. There are many programs launched in our universities which deal with AI ML specialist learning and training. Significant research competitiveness. There are more than 33 AI laboratories, one of them managed by IT companies, as well as 6 affiliated with universities. Also, as I said, the government supports AI through there are many different educational programs and partnerships with private companies. Also, as you know, leading AI position, Ukraine is nowadays is a leading position have a leading AI position in defense tech sector, meaning the AI, military AI using, but not only military AI, but also very widespread using AI in dual case sectors. My presentation not so big. I was focused mainly on specific features and specific possibilities for all participants and all for interested investors who may be dealing with Ukraine in nearest future. This last slide is about some useful resources, data for doing business in Ukraine. As you see, the guide rebuilding Ukraine with the private sector, that's very big and size document. It was very good described in terms of possible instruments, ecosystem, government support, etc. What it about before. As Investment Guide Ukraine presented during last Ukraine Recovery Conference in Berlin. It was a very good opportunity to study, to examine thoroughly also the existing project portfolio in Ukraine from the private sectors and also from the government sector side. Very good in terms of deep analytics and understanding of AI ecosystem of Ukraine is the report, last year report, the AI ecosystem of Ukraine, talent, companies, and education. The full and the last actual information about all possibilities with AI technologies in Ukraine from companies, existing companies, courses, programs, startups, education facilities, and that's not enough resources, not full list of resources, but it's one kind of opportunity to study and to see more about information about Ukraine and doing business and investment opportunities. I'm freely open to you and been very appreciated to answer all possible questions and to help with all possibilities how to do business in Ukraine, to open investment, unleash investment potential of Ukraine in spite of war and related war risks. And I'll be happy to be very useful because as I said, people as interface between all stakeholders, very know all ecosystem, not only the business environment ecosystem, but also I'm very deeply engaged in communication with industry, business association, and also, as I mentioned before, I'm very technology proactive man who pushing all initiatives. Also, I'm serving as a board member of Swedish Ukraine Chamber of Commerce. That says I was connected ties not with Scandinavian invested people, but also with other European. That's why I'll be happy and appreciate to help and to be useful for you and proceed all this topic in terms of implementing practical things, practical projects for Ukraine, because Ukraine is kind of investment mecca for nowadays in terms of technology, investments, opportunity, and strong digital position in the whole world. Thank you very much. Maybe it's too short, but I'll try to be precise because it's a very very profound picture to be discussed within 15 minutes. That's why I do hope that other keynote speakers, our speakers from Investment Ukraine and Dmitry and other will will be also valuable for you in terms of presenting today's topic. Thank you very much again. Arigato
Thank you.
gozaimasu.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, thank you a lot for your participation, for your time. For sure, I want to share with our participants that all presentation that we have today, we will share after our event. And for the next our speakers, I want to welcome Dmitry Mikhailenko, Managing Partner at Kron. Dmitry already with us. Dmitry already here.
Olga, thank you so much for
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
nice to see you. Could you make visible the presentation which is called Doing Business in Ukraine?
Yes, of course. Just give me a second, please.
Thank you, Daria. Colleagues, you asked me to describe the key positions, tax positions for Ukrainian legislation, and as well hot topics for non-resident which are willing to invest to Ukraine, which risks or exposures they should take into account, and as well the tax regimes in Ukraine which are preferable for investments because they give quite a significant possibility for tax planning and to reinvest your profits into new areas of your activities. It is hot topics, and I ask for the presentation, which is called Doing Business in Ukraine. Hot topics will be the second presentation. Daria, could you please? While Daria is asking the key information of Ukrainian taxes, we have a pretty classical structure of main taxes in Ukraine, namely value-added tax with tax rate 20%. And corporate profit tax with tax rate 18%, and the number of taxes related to personal taxation. No, not this. Daria, okay, let it be hot topics. Hot topics. A number of taxes related to personal taxation, namely the tax from the revenues of individuals. Yes, this one. Could you show the next page? Taxation of individuals with the flat rate at 18%. So-called military tax. The rate of this tax was increased recently. Currently, it is at 5%. And social contributions, which the employer should pay for the salary and other revenues of the individuals from the works and services they provided to the customer at 22%. The overall general taxation tax burden for the salary, say, it is about 30.
Could you expand the presentation or the PDF somewhat so that the viewers can see it better? For your assistant.
Daria, could you show the next slide related to the main tax figures? And maybe and make it bigger if possible.
Unfortunately, I cannot make it better because it's like not the presentation format. Sorry for that.
Clear.
Bigger, just to make it bigger. Yeah.
Normally,
to make it simpler, if you as employer pay 100 hryvnia to the employee, you should pay around 55 hryvnias of the different taxes: individual tax, military tax, and social contribution. Vice versa, if you should expense for the salary and all the taxes 100 hryvnia, so around 36%, should be paid to our budgets, and around 74% or 74 hryvnias should go as a net salary to the employee. However, Ukraine has two quite beneficial regimes. The decreased rate for dividends, it is currently at 9% plus military tax, 5% overall 14%. And the regime for small entrepreneurs with revenue not exceeding around 9 million hryvnias. It is around 200,000 euro, with the taxation at 5% from these revenues plus 1% military tax, overall 6%. And it is a sort of problem for Ukraine, since it is a very big gap between the taxation of mere employee, as I have said, 36%, and the taxation of private entrepreneur, with the tax burden at 6%. The result of such gap is that around 2 million of Ukrainians become private entrepreneurs instead of being employees, and it creates the challenges for tax authorities and for such persons for their reclassification into employees instead of private entrepreneurs. And as we think of the strategy of Ukraine in after-war period, it is to somehow adjust the system of model of taxation of private entrepreneurs and come up to the bigger taxes instead of 5+1. Could we go to the presentation related to hot topics? Daria, please. You should know, if you are going to invest in Ukraine, that 5 years ago we have quite a big reform related to implementation of BEPS principle into Ukrainian legislation. BEPS, it is the plan elaborated by OECD. It is called base erosion, the struggle with base erosion and profit shifting. And as a result of such adjustments or reform, we have several instruments for our tax authorities to oppose tax planning in cooperation between foreign investors and Ukrainian enterprise. Inter alia, Ukraine joined so-called multilateral instrument, which implements additional taxation for the, profits from the sale of shares, which generate their value mainly from the real property in Ukraine. Or so-called principal purpose test, which is aimed at to remove the abuse of taxation from the side of the taxpayers. As well, it was implemented so-called deemed dividends rule, where some excessive amount being paid to the non-resident can be reclassified into dividends with the respective taxation as dividends, but not as the acquisition of works or services. The next, please. The next, please. Beneficiary owner rule was stricted as the matter of court practice or court doctrines. It is opposed to the paying of dividends, royalties, or interest in favor of non-residents which do not have enough substance and are acting as conduit companies for back-to-back relationships. Please, next one. Business purpose test. in response of the transaction with a low tax jurisdiction, which can reduce the amount of expenses for the matter of corporate taxation. Please, next one. As well, transfer pricing rules. Under the BEPS influence, we implemented such instruments as master file and country-by-country reporting. Please, next one. Thin capitalization rules, it was pretty old, which reduces the amount of interest, which can be deduct from corporate profit tax base if the company which is a lender do not have enough own assets or own capital. Please, next one. And as well, permanent establishment rules, which are aimed to recognize the activities of non-resident as going through permanent establishment in case if it has presence and commercial transaction at the territory of Ukraine. Please, next one. And a number of changes to double tax treaties. So we have recently several treaties with zero rates of taxation for royalties, dividends, or interest. But consequently, our Ministry of Finance agreed the adjustments to these double tax treaties in order to implement taxes at 5 or 10 or 15% of withholding tax instead of 0. You can see these DTTs at the next slide. Cyprus, Great Britain, Switzerland, the Netherlands. But on the background of these instruments aimed at strengthening and opposing the models of tax planning from the side of non-resident investors, we have 4 regimes which are very good for the matters of taxation. And they give significant tax results for tax space, including those with the investments outside Ukraine. It is a so-called regime for collective investment funds, which provides the benefits at 0 rate of corporate profit tax. It means that these structures, say, corporate investment funds, shouldn't pay corporate profit tax at all. They enjoy the respective exemption. And it is very good for the investors, which contribute their money to Ukraine and respectively in collective investment funds, and these funds make contribution to the businesses or provide loans or give licenses and derive royalties. Next one, please. The next model for small business, as I have said, it is 5 plus 1% tax burden instead of 36% for employees. We can move to the next one because we are currently short of time. Darina, could you? Agriculture. We have a so-called agricultural tax instead of corporate profit tax, and it is much less than corporate profit tax as such. And our agricultural companies enjoy this regime of taxation. And next one. And regime for IT companies, it is so-called DSCT regime. They can enjoy the tax at 9% instead of 18%, corporate profit tax, with payment not at classical regime where profit is generation, but at the moment when dividends are distributed. And as well, this regime also enjoys the possibility to pay only 5 plus 5% on individual taxation of the employees or civil law contractors, which are engaged by this company in DSCT regime. Therefore, the overall taxation only 10% for the individuals which are working at such company, but not 36. Not 6, but not 36. And certain tax dividends for shareholders when paying dividends, they can enjoy zero rates if dividends are payable not often than once per 2 years by this company in the city regime. Overall, it is a very good regime, and jointly with agricultural regime, small business, and the regime of collective investment fund, it can be combined into quite a significant possibility to economy for taxes when you investment in Ukraine. As well, we have a couple of regimes, so-called tax nannies and the regime of industrial parks, which allow not to pay corporate profit tax and as well land tax and real property tax for certain time for the foreign investors which are going to these tax regimes. Industrial parks are linked with certain territory, while the regime of tax nannies, investment nannies, is not linked with the territory. It is rather linked with the amount of investments from the abroad. Maybe it is all information which I want to share with you. I thank you for your attention and hoping that it will be helpful for you in your decision to invest in Ukraine. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot, Dmitry. It was really interesting and necessary information as for me because it's too technical, and I think that today's webinar it's totally to provide such information to provide information to our participants because they need to understand how working in our how is work done in our country. Thank you a lot. Thank you for your time. We will share with you information, and if we will have some additional questions, we will share it also with you. So we are moving to our next speaker, and now we will shift to our focus on foreign investments. Investments in Ukraine's economy are playing a vital role in a post-war reconstruction process, and even today, because we are going to this reconstruction process, we are moved to this closely. The upcoming presentation will delve into the current business and investment opportunities in Ukraine. Our next speaker, Mr. Oleksiy Gronik, Senior Associate at Ukraine Invest, the Investment Promotion Office of Ukraine, will provide valuable insights into how foreign investments are shaping the future of Ukraine economy and the main rules regarding doing business in invest today in Ukraine.
Thank you, Olga. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oleksiy Gronik. I'm the Senior Associate at Ukraine Invest. I'm happy to be invited to this event and tell you a little bit about what we do as the Investment Promotion Office in Ukraine, in particular how we support investors in the realization of their projects, assist them at all stages of the project implementation, and to highlight the investment incentives in Ukraine that are available for today. Next slide, please. Yep. So about Ukraine Invest, just a little bit of information. Ukraine Invest is the Ukrainian Investment Promotion Office established by the government of Ukraine in 2018 as the authorized institution for supporting investment project in with significant investments. We provide potential investors with information on setting up and doing business in Ukraine, and other comprehensive support at all levels and all stages, from identifying investment opportunities to project implementation by providing guidance and troubleshooting services. Working in the synergy with the Ministry of Economy of Ukraine and the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, we ensure quick and efficient work to help investors implement their project as soon as it's possible. Also, we work with the law. It's called on the state support of investment projects with significant investments in Ukraine. It's launched by the initiative of the President of Ukraine in order to stimulate the economic development of Ukraine. It provides certain investment incentives and currently has certain requirements for investment projects. Now let's talk about a little bit about this law. Next slide, please. Yep. Here you can see one of the main requirements set out in the law for investment projects with significant investments, namely the full list of areas that the project shall comply with in order to implement this project. An investor can apply for the state support in areas like proceeding industry, warehousing, logistics, hospitality, education, and so on by the list, as you can see on your screen right now. About the list of areas, there may be certain exceptions. For example, you can see from the slide regarding the energy sector. Unfortunately, it is not covered by the law right now, but it is possible to conduct activities for the production of biogas or biomethane. And there are also certain restrictions on production activities. The law provides for some restrictions in the area of manufacturing of tobacco products and alcoholic beverages. Next slide, please. Yeah, here you can see the key requirements of an investment project that you can implement on the territory of Ukraine. Why is it called investment project with significant investments? The key requirement is that the project shall have the capex, it's the significant investments, not less than 12 million euros, not counting a value-added tax. It could be owned or borrowed funds from the investor, which are invested in the objects of investment in the process of the implementation of investment project. Next is the creation of at least 10 plus new jobs. There's no threshold for the maximum of it, but there's just at least 10 plus, and that's all. Also, the project implementation shall take no more than 5 years. About this period. This period is this date from the conclusion of the special investment agreement to the date of the fulfillment by the investor of obligation provided in this special investment agreement to make significant investments and to start operating of such investment objects. And the last one is the construction and modernization, technical or technological re-equipment in this new project. For now, I would like to present you the types of support provided by the state for investors with significant investments in Ukraine. This government support is not in money, but it is in certain tax and duty exemptions or benefits or other incentives. First of all, it's exemption of the corporate income tax. It could be for any 5 subsequent years of the project. You can choose whatever you want of this 5 years. Also, next one is the exemption from value-added tax for importing new equipment and components to it. Exemption from import duties for new equipment and components to it. Also, it's construction or compensation for build engineering and transport infrastructure from the side of the state. Also, a lease of state or communal land plots without land acquisition, auctions. Also, it's land tax exemption, or it could be reduced land tax exemptions, and exemption from losses of forestry of production. State support is provided in the amount of 30% of the capex of the investment project. And the investor can choose any of the type of the support and even choose all the type of support altogether, but it should be within the 30% limit. For example, you can see on the slide the equivalent of the state support an investor can receive. which means if an investor implements a project worth 100 million euros, he can apply for support in the amount of 30 million euros in incentives and compensation from the state. Next slide, please. As of today, Ukraine Invest provides support to more than 30 investors who will potentially be able to implement their projects in the future, and we do believe it. We provide support from the start of the implementation of an investment project, assist in communication with the state and the local authorities, and help in resolving investors' issues and reviewing the documentation. The total amount of application to the Ministry of Economy for state support is currently totals over 3 billion euros, and out of these 30 projects. For now, 6 applications on investment projects were submitted to the Ministry of Economy of Ukraine for recognition of a significant investments on the total amount of 300 million euros. Also, in the past years, with the assistance of the Ukraine Invest, the first 2 special investment agreements were signed between the investors and the Cabinet of Ministers, which ensures the state support for these investment projects. Amount of the state support is like almost 5 million euros and 21 million euros. What is the special investment agreement? It means an agreement concluded between the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine on behalf of the state, the investor with significant investments, and the applicant and the local authority in case if it's engaged in it. And define the procedure and conditions for implementing the investment projects with significant investments. About our services, Ukraine Invest provides investor with a comprehensive support mechanism that helps investor navigate Ukrainian legislation, prepare documentation, and submit application to the Ministry of Economy and engage in the dialogue with the government. As for us, we provide end-to-end support and some sort of services. As to the services, is we provide support to prepare the application and implement the investment project, as well as assistance in the execution of a special investment agreement. It's support in land plot selection, resolving business issues, business-related problematic issues, establishment of cooperation with the state and local authorities. It's consulting on conducting business in Ukraine, providing information and advisory assistance regarding the implementation of investment project, and we do preliminary check of investment project compliance with the requirements of the relevant law. Yeah. Ukraine Invest also got its own help desk for investors, for entrepreneurs, which is available on our website. It's an online resource for entrepreneurs that is regularly updated to reflect changes in taxation, finance, legal matters during the martial law in Ukraine. Our help desk has all the necessary up-to-date information for both foreign and domestic investors, where you can find all the answers to your questions about certain legal issues in Ukraine. It continuous updates and enables businesses to adapt quickly and manage risk efficiently. And here you can see also, you can find at our website an investment map of Ukraine. It is interactive map of investment opportunities that was developed in the partnership of the European Business Association and the Global Business of Ukraine. This tool details structured information to assist investors in making informed decision. It includes key investment opportunities across 15 economic sectors, including energy, agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, construction, and IT sector. Regional profiles also with the data of area, size, population, local taxes, educational institutions, resources, and major industries. Also, it's specific business projects seeking funding with details on like current status, location, investment volume required, project and objectives, and timelines. Also, it's a dedicated section for a Ukrainian startups project in IT sector. That is open for funding and collaboration. And as for now, the investment map features 188 projects with total estimated potential approximately in $6 billion US. Well, thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here. Here is on this slide, you can see, or you can find all the contact information. Please feel free to contact us. We are happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Alexei. It was really interesting presentation. I think that you have shown us all the tools that can be used by potential investors, and also it can be used by our experts because they are guiding their clients. And thank you a lot. Now we are excited to hear directly from a company working in Ukraine. And I'm welcome to hear Mr. Svetoslav Billy, Managing Director and Autodog, who will share his experience in working and doing business in Ukraine. Svetoslav is the client of the EN network. He is closely working with the IT cluster. Dear Svetoslav, please take your floor. Svetoslav, please. Just for the next presentation, I see that Svetoslav is here, and he is with us. Maybe some problems with connection because in Ukraine, sometimes it happens.
We are still waiting for him. I hope there's no technical.
He's here. Yeah, he's here, but
Him an unmute request, but
Yeah, he sent in a mute request. He can't talk. He can speak.
he has a problem with connection.
No, he
Is it-
can't unmute.
He can't unmute like a technical.
Colleagues, maybe whoever is managing WebEx, you can unmute him yourself. Who is the host?
We will be unmuting him. We have we have sent the unmute request to him, but it seems there is an issue. Olga, should we go for the last speaker and then we try
Yes,
again?
I think that we will go for the last speaker and we will ask him to reconnect. Maybe it will be the best option because sometimes it happens as like a technical issues. So for the next speech, I kindly ask to take the floor Alexandra Sukhodolska, representative of DG Grow, to provide us some more information regarding current opportunities and projects and programs for doing business with Ukraine and for support Ukraine in Ukrainian business. Dear Alexandra, please take a floor. Hello. Nice
Hi,
to see you.
Olga. Nice to see you. Can you hear me and see me well?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for inviting me, and thank you for organizing this super important event. And I know that you're doing this not for the first time, you do it regularly. It's a great opportunity for the European European stakeholders and businesses to learn about different opportunities in doing business with Ukraine. In fact, I come from the DG, Director General, that deals with internal market, entrepreneurship, and SMEs. And we work a lot on facilitating EU-Ukraine business cooperation and stakeholder outreach. So in this context, I wanted to mention that we also in our portfolio have the Enterprise Europe Network, Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs, and clusters policies. Which are very useful in this work on facilitating EU-Ukraine business cooperation. And I wanted to share with you some events, updates, and information on how you can participate in the events that have Ukraine angle when it comes to those organized by the EU. And first one that I wanted to mention is the focus group Ukraine that we in DG Grow hold every month. And in this context, we cover different topics such as accession process of Ukraine. And we hear each month directly from DG which is dealing with the enlargement of the EU and the Eastern Partnership countries. And they give us firsthand updates on how Ukraine is processing in the screening exercises when it comes to EU accession, and what it's lacking, and what is the speed, and what are the priorities, and what is being screened now. So it's a great opportunity for you to join this group, because it's open to public. Anyone can join it. It's held online. We have a very big array of different stakeholders, from NGOs to government representatives to business representatives to business support organizations to research institutions and so on, who would take part in these calls. It is also a great opportunity to exchange and share views on what regards EU-Ukraine business cooperation. I will send a link in the chat, and you will receive the link to register for this group after this meeting. For example, in the last editions, we have well covered AI in Ukraine, or dual use, or IT, and how these sectors are important and attractive when it comes to unique selling points of Ukraine, and in the context of knowledge sharing, capacity building, trade, and business relations of EU and Ukraine in those topics. And for instance, when we were speaking today a lot about investments, recently during our focus group, the GNS colleagues have announced a relaunch of the call for expression of interest for investment projects of EU countries into Ukraine for economy resilience and reconstruction, focusing on such topics as energy, critical raw materials, processing industry, and so on. So this is the second round of this call under Ukraine investment framework, which aims to attract 40 billion of investment in Ukraine by EU companies. So this call is now open, and being a member of the focus group, you can learn about updates like that. Also, for example, the Export Credit Agency, the export credits that will support guaranteeing the exports of EU companies to Ukraine has also been covered in the focus group. This is a 300 million euro call for the export credit agencies, and it's currently being answered by the international financial institutions, who will further implement these guarantees when it comes to covering the exports and the guarantees for these exports of EU companies to Ukraine. Coming to the events, which are one of the tools that we use as the stakeholder outreach and as a forum for EU and Ukrainian companies to meet and network. first of such events this year happened just recently in Brussels, which was EU-Ukraine Business Summit, which was well attended by both Ukrainians and the European companies and also governmental representatives on a very high level. The Prime Minister of Ukraine was there. The Commissioner for Enlargement of the EU, Marta Kos, was also there. Such event has attracted a lot of interest and shared a lot of new updates on EU-Ukraine business partnership, which will be increased, and other updates. Coming to the cycle of the events, in the context of a stakeholder outreach, the next event will be EU Industry Days that will happen in Rzeszów, Poland, just in 3 weeks' time on 5th and 6th of June. And it will have a strong Ukraine angle, and it will focus on competitiveness and decarbonization, but also defense industries, innovative industries, startups, investments overall in EU and Ukraine. And there will be several dedicated sessions and panels to Ukraine. And there will be also an opportunity for matchmaking sessions between EU and Ukrainian companies through a dedicated platform, as well as the exposition corner with Ukrainian companies also coming over and EU companies presenting their innovative products, but also meet the experts corner where you will be able to speak to the Enterprise Europe Network colleagues, EIT clusters, and so on. So this is an upcoming event coming very soon. After this, of course, you know about Ukraine Recovery Conference, and there will be a lot of deliverables presented by the European Commission there as well. It doesn't really have the practical, let's say, business matchmaking per se element in it, but the program is still in the making, and the Ukraine Recovery Conference will happen in Italy in July, so there are still updates to come. When it's not organized by the European Union, but European Union of course plays a strong role there. And another important event that I wanted to mention will be Rebuild Ukraine Fair that will take place in November, on the 13th, 14th of November in Warsaw, Poland, and it will have a very strong EU angle in the concept of EU village, with member states together with the European Union coming up with a lot of interesting undertakings when it comes to EU-Ukraine business cooperation, including the matchmaking sessions, including the workshops and investment conference. And in the margins of this Rebuild Ukraine Expo, there will be a lot of other conferences on critical raw materials, energy, renewable energy, and water management. The marathon of local communities presenting their investment projects in their communities. So really a lot of interesting undertakings will take place there, and the European Union and the European Commission are very much involved. We will have a lot of our experts on the site with a stand to answer any kind of the questions when it comes to EU support to Ukraine, be it the transport, logistics, doing business, investments, or emergency response. You will be able to learn about all these initiatives that the EU has at our stands at Rebuild Ukraine in November. I will send the links in the chat to all I have mentioned just now, and if you have any questions, I'm super happy to answer them, and thanks for your attention.
Thank you a lot, Alexandra. Dear colleagues, please state your questions in the chat. And I see that Svetoslav already with us. Svetoslav, please take your floor. Thank you for connecting with us.
Global. We are 1,000. Already. More. this country.
Excuse me? Ex- Sorry, sorry to interrupt you, but the sound is a bit breaking. So I was wondering if you might switch off your camera, maybe the sound would be better. Could we try that, please? Yes, can you say something now? Oh, yes, it seems better now. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Needed. Uh, uh,
Maybe it will be better to reconnect for him because it's not so good to listen. So, yeah, thank you.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed. But I think we are already out of time, huh? Olga, I think it's time
Unfortunately.
to decide to put, maybe we have to close it here and we give him another way to present his experiences because the connection is simply not good enough. And I think it will be difficult for the audience to follow.
Yeah. We just hear just a few words, and after the connection is out, and that's why I'm sorry. And thank you a lot for connecting us. Yeah, it's really important. We're just listened. We want to provide, some good experience of the companies that are working in Ukraine during the war because it's really important. I think that it's like success stories and success cases of those companies who are providing uh, activity during the war period. Because I know that you have started your business in 2016, and during the war you already opened the office and work hardly, and you are not closed, not postpone your business. You're providing additional services and work, even like in these conditions, because a lot of companies who just were out of market from that time. So I'm really sorry for that. We are really happy that you're with us, with Ian. We will be glad to support you and to continue to support you. So, dear colleagues, as Thomas said, we are really out of time, but we have a lot of different opportunities to provide you and to share with you. And first of all, I want to say that thank you all for joining today this webinar. It has been an honor to present the key insights and opportunities for doing business and investing in Ukraine. We wanted to make it, really practical, really technical to understand all issues, all cases, and all this information that have been presented by our speakers today. We will share with you with all presentation and with all key figures. You will find it in the post webinar presentation. So I need to admit that we encourage you to take advantage of many opportunities presented today, whether it's exploring new markets, investing in Ukraine, emerging industries, or building lasting partnership within Ukrainian companies, because in the frame of the EN, it's our main mission. And together we can pave the way to share success and brighter future. Ukraine is not only the partner for today, but this is the great partner for tomorrow. And please don't forget about this, because we are almost the part of the European Union. We are already going, and all our market requirements, we are trying to comply with the European rules, with the European characteristics. So we are totally ready to present our companies, to present our business in Europe. And even in this wartime, Ukrainian partners, we are stay strong and stay reliable for all our partners abroad. And we want to connect with you. We are ready to provide you our services and our goods. And please invest in Ukraine. This word that Ukraine only for today, but it's a really good partner for tomorrow. It's big, it have a big sense, because we are totally understand that when the war will finish, we will make all our best to be one of the biggest, one of the greatest member of the European Union. So thank you a lot, dear colleagues, for today's event, today's webinar, and I hope that this information was really useful for you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Olga.
It was a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Everyone.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.